Deion Sanders effect once again. Deion Sanders effect once again. One time for crime. Tennessee State looking to not be outdone by Jackson State and everybody else. Tennessee State said, "We're gonna hire Eddie George." Has he ever coached? I have no idea. But we're gonna hire him anyway, because his name Eddie, his last name George, and he played for the Tennessee Titans. He's still in the Tennessee area, and he's a big name just like Deion Sanders. He's not as big as Deion, but he's a big name just like Deion Sanders. And he can help with the NFL splash. So let's read. When Tennessee State and Jackson State meet in the annual Southern Heritage Classic later this year, the sidelines will be buzzing. That's because two of the top names in college and pro football will serve as head coaches. Tennessee State doing its part to capture attention Tuesday by naming Eddie George as the school's 22nd head coach. This will be George's first coaching job. He has plenty of experience as a player. Yes, that really helps us in the confidence department that we know that Eddie George, though he has never coached, he's played. Well, duh. That's why he got the coaching job, because he played. But having experience as a player doesn't mean your ass should be coaching. So I was skeptical about Deion Sanders as a coach, but at least he has been on coaching staffs. It was high school. At least he's been on the coaching staff. But Deion Sanders himself, this is his first time being a head coach. And at least he was on the coaching staff. We see how that's going. The Eddie George ain't never coached, period. And Tennessee State, like, yeah, this is the best hire for us. Let's go get a guy who has never coached. All right. So the former Tennessee Titan earned multiple All-Pro honors as a running back. He won the Heisman Trophy and is in the College Hall of Fame as a running back from Ohio State. After recently getting his master's in administration from Northwestern, George says he's well aware of the shoes he has to fill at Tennessee State. No, he ain't. No, he ain't. Because it ain't no shoes to be filled. It ain't no shoes to be filled. Tennessee State don't have no storied tradition like that. Come on, man. I truly understand the history when it comes to Tennessee State football, said George. The Hall of Fame coaches like Henry Dean and Ike Howard, Gentry Sr., John A. Merritt, Joe Gilliam Sr., great players like Richard Dent, Claude Humphrey, NFL Hall of Famers, number one in HBCUs in terms of putting players in the NFL. Very aware, extremely aware of the rich history here. And I get it. Yeah. Okay. They may have a history of putting people in the NFL, but man, Tennessee State's history ain't like that. It ain't like that. It's not like that. It's not like that. All right. All HBCUs have a stake in putting players in the NFL, and Tennessee State may have the most. But Eddie George don't have real big shoes to fill, and the expectation is not going to be high for him because he ain't never done this before. Now, one smart thing Eddie George has done is he's hired former Cleveland Browns head coach Hugh Jackson on his staff, and I'm assuming that Hugh Jackson will be the assistant / real coach, while Eddie George is the face of it. Hugh Jackson is the actual real coach. So that's smart. So that means Eddie George may have that CEO mind, that executive mind to say, hey, I don't know shit about coaching. I'm not a coach. I've never coached before. I want to learn to be a coach. But let me bring in somebody who got not just coaching experience, but NFL coaching experience. And yes, people will say, well, Hugh Jackson is not a good coach. Hugh Jackson didn't have a lot of success in Cleveland. But Hugh Jackson is a good coach, and Hugh Jackson would be a good addition to the Tennessee State coaching staff, because now Eddie George got somebody he can learn from, and somebody's on the staff who can actually make critical decisions. Because Eddie George, as the coach, he don't have to make those decisions. Hugh Jackson can make those critical game time decisions. That's what Hugh Jackson can do. So we're gonna see how that goes. Now, Southern's head football coach left Southern for Norfolk State. His name is Dawson Odoms, and he's headed to Norfolk State to become the next head coach for the Spartans, for Norfolk State Spartans. It's weird for a person's first name to be Dawson, but his name is Dawson Odoms. So it is rumored that Southern is looking to hire Marshall Faulk as their next head coach. Deion Sanders effect, and from my understanding, we don't know if Marshall Faulk has any head coaching experience. Now, what was funny, I saw memes scrolling through Facebook. I'm in the SWAC group on Facebook, and what they were saying, they had a picture of Marshall Faulk and a picture of Kevin Faulk, and Kevin Faulk is an actual coach on the Southern coaching staff, I believe. And they was like, hey, man, y'all better hire the right Faulk. Don't hire Marshall just because the name. You better hire Kevin because he been coaching. And that's the thing I don't want these black colleges to do, to get caught up in hiring people because of names when they don't have credentials. Like, we got to think about that. Don't just hire a person because of their name. Hire them because of they got their credentials. Yeah, you hire Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk is hot trash. It's not going to help you. Oh, we hired him, dude who can play in the NFL. Because a part of helping these players get to the NFL is winning. But you got to build tradition, and tradition had to be built. And yes, getting coaches there with NFL ties helps. But damn it, you got to win and you got to develop players. It can't just be all, we want the glory, we want the shine, and your players suffer for it. That can't happen. So, but good luck to Eddie George. Good luck to Dawson Odoms. Good luck to Hugh Jackson, and hopefully good luck to Marshall Faulk if he becomes Southern coach. And let's just make sure this thing happens right. So that there is my HBCU news.